pipe pals and pipe gals. Holy Smoking Pipe, Andre with you tonight. Smoking my beloved Cherrywood. That I got many years ago at the Briar Patch. And this one, I got a softy bit on here. I haven't had a softy bit in a long time, and I like it. Yeah, really like it, softy bit. My goodness, and smoking tonight. A little bit of, excuse me, a little bit of Majestic. Real simple tonight, real simple. Majestic, Cherrywood, or Applewood. I was calling this Applewood. I kept saying, that's not the right name for this pipe. Cherrywood. Got the little legacy white dot right there. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And got a little black coffee here. I'm going to have a little sip of that. Not bad. Not bad at all. Nice combination there. Yeah, I like that. That's good. And then also, my best buddy turned me on to this Spindrift sodas. There's no sugar in them. A little bit of flavoring, water and tea. This is kind of like an Arnold Palmer, I guess. Black tea and lemon. So quite refreshing. Nice chaser for the coffee and the tobacco. So, oh my gosh, so many things I want to talk about tonight. Thanks for watching the last video. I know I've been probably putting up more videos than I normally do, and I've kind of noticed that when I put up one video like a month, it gets more views. But when I put up a couple or 3 videos a month, the views kind of go down a little bit. So I know I'm kind of an acquired taste, and you know, sometimes people are like, you know, don't know if I really want to wade into this guy's videos, but I'll give it a try. And they maybe put me on some kind of a watch later thing, and they might get around to it. So, you know, I thank you all, those of you who do like to watch these videos from time to time, and some of you are commenters. So thank you for, you know, putting up with me and sticking with me. We're going to talk about YouTube here in just in a little while. So today was Wednesday, middle of the week, and I had a lot of errands to run today, and all throughout the day, morning, afternoon, and so, which was fine. The weather, there was a little bit of snow flurries, but for the most part, very easy to get around, navigate, no real major problems, which is good. So anyway, you know, I've been up here going on 5 years now. I can't remember. It's either, I started my 4th year. Yeah, so I'll be starting my 5th year, moving into my 6th year. Anyway, long story short. So there's a lot of things that I've never taken the time to check out. And there's a little coffee shop I noticed kind of on the going more north on the lake. And, you know, I love coffee shops. Trust me, I love coffee shops. You know, I've always wanted to check this little coffee shop out. And I did finally today in the nice little coffee shop. And then, but the real surprise was the fact that it was right there on the shore. And you have to understand something about Lake Tahoe. There's not a lot of access to the actual shore. There's a couple of places, but you still got to have to walk there. And, you know, it's a little bit of a pain in the patootie. But for the most part, I drive into this coffee shop. The coffee shop's also, it's kind of out of your way. I mean, you can see it from the road, but you got to go into this little frontage road to get there. And Yeah, it's not really conducive to like kind of like a real drive-by. You have to make an intentional turn to go in there and park, and so it's, I guess that's one of the reasons why, even though I've wanted to check it out, I've never done that. But anyway, today I did that. On my way back, I had to go into Incline Village to drop off some things at the cleaners and get some gasoline. And so I did that. And people were nice for the most part. Got a nice cup of coffee. But the thing was, when I went back out into the parking lot, I kind of went, hey, wait a minute. That's the waves. I heard this crashing kind of sound. And I went, what is that? Because you normally don't, because if you're not really on the shore, you don't hear the lake. And so to hear the waves crashing just about maybe 75 yards away, it was like, oh my gosh. Okay, well, here I am. Kind of a little interesting serendipitous moment here. I drinking a little coffee from this little coffee shop over here. I passed by this place probably 100, if not 1,000 times in the last 4 years I've been up here, and I've always thought, oh, maybe I'll stop by and maybe get a little coffee there. Kind of a little out of the way place, but the neat thing is that it's right here on the beach. It's amazing. You can actually get down to the water, and I've never gotten this close to the water except for a couple of places, but that's about it. So here I am with a little bit of coffee and taking a little bit of a morning break, and then it's back to work. But there's the shore. You can literally walk down and touch the water. So I did that, and a few little videos here of the coffee shop and the shore and the waves and everything. It was just really kind of nice to take a little bit of a detour and discover something local that, you know, you've kind of passed by all these years and said, I've always wanted to go over there and check out that little coffee shop. And, you know, I mean, I was hoping that it was going to be like a real little coffee shop where you could get your coffee and sit down and drink. But it's mostly you buy your coffee and you can buy souvenirs, basically. So you just go out and drink your coffee out by the shore, and I think that's even better in some ways. So I enjoyed that. So last night, the last couple of days, I know someone who will be very, very happy about what I'm about to say. But I have a closet that is just an absolute hazard. And you know, a lot of times, you know, it's funny how one thing can kind of be like that log jam that just kind of prevents everything from kind of flowing. And so I had this closet downstairs, you know, one of our little guest rooms. And all I've done for the last maybe 2 or 3 years is I've just been storing, you know, empty tech boxes, cameras, drones, you know, what have you, you know, microphones. And I mean, I had a whole closet, it was just junk. It was just empty boxes of, you know, old tech stuff. And a lot of times I like to keep the boxes in case I want to send it back. I need to send it back for repairs or whatever. Or if I move, you know, sometimes it's nice to have the original box, because if you're going to be moving and, you know, it'll be a little bit safer in the original box. But, you know, who can keep every single original box? I mean, I keep most of my Apple ones, but for the most part, even some of those I've kind of started to either get rid of, not totally get rid of, but I try to say those are the only boxes I really kind of save, because it's nice if I give away, because what happens is I will inevitably give away maybe say an iPad or an iPhone that I had a few years ago. It still works, still great. I usually take pretty good care of my stuff. And so, you know, when maybe somebody says, hey, you know, by any chance, do you happen to have an extra iPad laying around? And I go, well, as a matter of fact, I think I do, you know. So it's always nice to put it back in the original box And, for the most part, because it feels like, you're re-gifting something to somebody, and it's not just, well, here you go. And it's all covered with fingerprints. I always try to do a nice reinstall or reset, factory reset, and then wipe it all down so it looks relatively like it's been taken good care of. And so the person doesn't feel like they're just getting a piece of thrown away junk. So, but anyway, that's why I keep those boxes for that reason. And then also if I do wind up moving somewhere else, at least I got something to protect my more valuable investments, I guess. So anyway, last night, I'll roll some video. I was trying to finally get this closet cleaned, and I don't think I actually showed. I should have. I kept thinking, why don't I take before and after pictures? I just don't really. It's like I can't be bothered. I want to just, So I've had this monitor that I ordered 2 years ago, brand new monitor for my Mac Studio. I had now 2 years ago when I got the Mac Studio. The long story short is I've had a couple. I have these wonderful Apple HD cinema displays. One's a 30-inch, and I think the other are two 23-inch or 27. I think they're 23-inch. Anyway, long story short, they still work, and they work fine. And they're beautiful monitors. They're not 4K or not 5K, but they're nice monitors. And so anyway, I was watching this Luke Miani guy. He's a young tech guy, and he was showing how you can actually get more life out of these monitors. Now, the monitor that I have is probably like 16 years old. And he was just saying, hey, if you get this little gadget from, you can find it on Amazon, it will help you to, it's an adapter that you can plug in the old monitor into the new Thunderbolt port. Who knew? And, and I've tried, how many of you have been out there and somebody recommends some gadget and says, this will, fix this or make this work with blah, 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 blah. And you buy it, and 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work. Or it kind of works. That's the most frustrating ones, where it kind of works. Not quite fully works, but it kind of works. Oh, I hate that. That's the thing I hate. I'd rather it just not work. Plain out. Okay, I spent $40 or $70 or $100 and it doesn't work. Okay, fine. I'll just return this thing, get a refund, and forget about it. So anyway, I thought, well, I think this thing's when I bought it was about $70. Well, okay. I mean, if it's going to make my monitor compatible with my new operating system, my new Mac Studio, well, yeah. Because the Mac Studio, the problem is that the iMac Pros, they don't make those right now. Maybe they will bring them back. Who knows? Apple, we don't know. Right now, we're going to talk a little bit about Vision Pro here in just a minute, and then we're going to talk about YouTube. Okay, those are the next two topics I'll talk about now: Vision Pro and YouTube. But anyway, so connecting an older monitor, because a lot of the people were saying that the newer monitor isn't that great. It's even smaller, and it's, anyway. So anyway, I got this little adapter, and I was kind of surprised to see it seemed like a quality piece of tech gear. It was like, well, it's not cheap. It doesn't feel cheap. It has kind of a premium feel to it. So anyway, I'm thinking, well, the other thing that made me skeptical was because you didn't have to do a lot of, hocus pocus, to make this thing work. You just literally plugged it into the monitor cable and plugged it into your Mac Studio, and Bob's your uncle. So I'm thinking it can't be that easy. Nothing is. And I couldn't believe it, but sure enough, that adapter, it just, wow, came on. So I've been using my 30-inch cinema display for the last 2 years. But the problem is that the other monitor that I ordered brand new 2 years ago has been sitting in a box, sitting in the shipment container, not just the original box, but the shipment container, the brown, cardboard shipment container. It's been sitting around the house. I've been moving all over the place. Sometimes it's in the bedroom, then the spare bedroom. Sometimes it's in the living room. It's just been kind of in the way for the most part. It's just sitting there, and it's like, what are you going to do with this? So I said, well, before I open this, I got to get rid of all those other empty boxes, because now when I open this, I'm going to have more empty boxes, big empty boxes. So I went through the last 2 days, and I have to say I'm kind of proud of myself because I got rid of an awful lot of stuff. Now, I'd say a quarter of it was a bunch of empty boxes. I got 2 black bags full of nothing but empty tech boxes. So, now sometimes, it's nice to hold on to those things if you can, but realistically, who's got the room? I just don't have the room anymore. And it's just time to just get rid of that stuff. So instead of it clogging up a good closet where you can put maybe valuable things or things that you're going to use and just need to store temporarily and vice versa, well, okay, let's see what we can do. So anyway, so I then later that night, last night, I was able to finally, as you can see by the video, finally get around to opening that IMAX Studio. I think it's an IMAX. It's a studio display. That's what they call it, the studio display with its special little hinge thingy. And anyway, so I thought, well, it's time I set that up. And plus, the other one with the other older monitor, you had to add speakers. If you wanted a Zoom call, you had to add another camera. So you had to add more tech gear to that older monitor to make it kind of equivalent to the new all-in-one. So anyway, it looks nicer. It's a little bit neater. It's got, everything that, you could possibly want. Now, a lot of people were disappointed in that studio display because it didn't have 120 hertz. What else it didn't have? I guess the webcam is not that great. I mean, it's better than some of the potato webcams that Apple has put out on some of its premium devices over the last few years. But anyway, so the long and short of it is I set it up last night, and I guess I can show you some more videos of that. And, it was kind of nice to finally get that monitor where it needed to be. So tonight's kind of a big deal because we're saying goodbye to the 30-inch cinema display, which I've had for, 18 years? No, it's about 18 or 19 years old, but I bought mine, I think, in 2008. So this is probably, 16 years old. And I've used it now for the last almost 2 years. And so I purchased this Apple Cinema display, which I got probably almost 2 years ago. And the reason why I've decided to open it up is it's been sitting here in this room, taking up space, and it's probably not a good idea to leave something boxed like this. I don't know if it's even going to work. But it was brand new in the box. I bought it about, like I said, almost 2 years ago, I think this March. And I just kept thinking that the 30-inch display was going to eventually burn out, and it just never did. And thanks to Luke Miani, there's a special adapter that you could use it with the new Apple Studio display. So it's going to go right there in a few minutes. So I've been kind of waiting for this moment to unbox this. So here we go. I'm going to take this shipping tab. Oops. And there we go. Throw that over there. And okay, there she is. Oh my goodness. Okay, see if I can open this up now. I hear it's pretty heavy. Oh, it is heavy. And then getting it out of that box, what I should do is do something smart. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. All right. So this will be another box. This will be another box that goes out. I've been cleaning up this room for the last 2 days, and so I'm kind of excited about getting all the clutter out of here finally. So I'm going to go ahead and open this and then we'll see what happens, okay? So, am I recording? Yeah, okay, great. All right. Okay, so here we are. Oh, there's another pull tab somewhere. Another pull tab, I think. Right. Here's another pull tab right here. Let me get over here and do the pull tab. Aha, very satisfying. All right, so box goes back over here. And I think it opens up like this. I just saw a guy on YouTube, a nice young man from UK, doing a box opening of the Studio Display before I tried to figure it out on my own and make a big mess of it. So hopefully this is all gonna work out. Now I gotta tell you, it's not maybe a bad thing, but because it's been sitting in this room for the last 2 years, it has that musty old library book smell, which maybe not be a good indication. So, okay, so we got these, we got these, and the young man says it just comes right out just like that, which is awesome. Boy, it sure has that musty book smell. So let's go in here. Let's go in here. Let's see if I can set up the camera right here. Hopefully that's going to work. And I'll bring it in. Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay, nice. It's the adjustable one. Of course, it's on the box right now. Okay, so let's get a little bit of a, that's what it's going to eventually look like, sitting up over there on the desk stand, the sit stand desk. So we'll be back right after this. And there it is, the new Studio Display, which is kind of really nice. And looks like it's doing an update. So it looks like I had a successful installation of the new Studio Display. Now, the fun thing, which I love, is that the older monitor, the 30-inch cinema display, again, I'm not getting rid of that anytime soon, but the little idea thought in my head, you know, I said, hey, I wonder, okay, I was able to use the USB-C port for the studio, Mac Studio, so the monitor would work with that. And then I started thinking, well, would it be possible? Would it be possible to connect it to an iPad? You know, so instead of having just the little iPad screen, which is okay, you could actually hook it up to a bigger monitor and do full scale, you know, even video editing. Because now with Final Cut Pro, kind of on the iPad, you could probably start doing some video editing. So what I'm going to try to do, in fact, I think, as I'm thinking about it, I'm going to try if I can, use this video, the one I'm making now, and try to edit it on my iPad using the 30-inch cinema display and just see if it works. Just see if it works. That might be kind of cool. But it did work. I hooked it up. Maybe show a little video again of me actually hooking up the iPad, and it comes on. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, it works. Who knew? So I was just so excited about that. Just having a lot of fun. So that was cool. So anyway, got a lot of stuff done. Got a lot of things cleaned up and organized better. Still going through some other things, just trying to see if older tech will work. I'm thinking that some of my other programs that I had about 10 years ago, I don't think they're going to work on the newer system because those were 32-bit. These are now 64-bit, and I just don't think the older software runs. It's not even recognizable on the newer hardware, which it happens. But I have some digital media on optical drives, DVD drives, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I could still use some of that content, to make videos later. There's stylistic things, text, fonts, things like that, special effects, VFX kind of stuff. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I might be able to use some of those things, but I gotta see if it's compatible, because I have a feeling that it's probably not. I found that out about 4 years ago. I had a really very nice word publishing program that when I tried to load it onto a newer system, the newer system says, sorry, incompatible software, and that was it. Dun da da, dun da da, dun da da, dun da da, dun da da. So anyway, all right. So, well, when you think about monitors and displays, technically, that's what we long for in computing, is a monitor, so we can see the things that we're doing, whether we're reading emails or watching YouTube videos or what have you. And so this Friday morning, I think at 5 a.m., you can try, I guess you can try and order the new Vision Pro Apple headset, VR headset, if you're of a mind to. And I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. Basically, now am I an early adapter? Yes and no. Yes and no. I did get the original iPhone, but I had to order it, and I didn't get it like first day when it came out. I think I waited a few weeks before I actually got mine, but yeah, I got the very first gen Apple iPhone. I think I gave that away yeah, I did. I know. That's right. I gave that away. Oh, I wish I had never done that, because that would have been a collector's item, or a nice collector's item. But I gave it away to a dear young friend, and of course, just like all young people, they went through it pretty quick. But anyway, I don't hold any resentments or hard feelings. It's just like, hey, at the time, especially when the tech was still, leaping forward by leaps and bounds, you're like, okay, this was cool, but I want the next cool thing, So here, you can have my old cool thing, and I'm going to get the new cool thing. And you didn't think about the history of the progression of these, the progress of these tech devices, like early Mesozoic, iPhone, and being unearthed, and in some museum, thousands of years from now, Anyway, so I did get the first iPhone. I didn't get the first iPad. I think I waited till, well, maybe I did get the first iPad, but I didn't get it right away. I think and the same thing with the Apple Watch. I kind of held off on the Apple Watch. I think there was the Apple Watch, the original, and then there was like Apple Watch, the second generation that came out that wasn't really considered the second gen. It was just, I don't know what it was. But anyway, I finally, after about a year and a half, I listened to even Rush Limbaugh talk about the Apple Watch. And, again, I kind of started thinking, why do I need an Apple Watch? Which I really didn't, but I thought about it. And then I kind of, again, I hesitated on that one. I hesitated on the iPad. I did finally break down and get one, but I didn't get one right away. Like the iPhone, yeah, I ordered that, I think, from Verizon. Yeah, I think because I was like so excited. No, actually it was AT&T. That's right. AT&T was the first internet provider for the iPhone. They were the original, and then it went to Verizon after that. So to be an early adopter of Vision Pro, now being an old person, I guess that's the little hook for me. Is like, being an old guy and kind of having tech, and like today, I went in to get my coffee at that little coffee shop, and this little girl, well, she was a little girl. She was probably a little bit taller than me, and she was probably 19 years old or 20 years old. And so anyway, so I went to pay for my coffee. When I pulled out my watch to do that, she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Paying for my coffee." "You could do that with your watch?" And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I'm the old person here. I'm supposed to be saying that line, not you. And she goes, "I didn't know you could do that with a watch." I thought, okay. So anyway, old people can impress young people from time to time. That was kind of fun. But anyway, so the Vision Pro, it would be fun. The only thing I think would be fun is, to be not only an early adapter, but, an older person adapting something very cutting edge and new, Now, the problem is that, and I got into a little bit of, not really a fight with somebody, but this guy was probably an optometrist, apparently. He said he was an eye doctor. Maybe he just tries on prescription glasses at Walmart. I don't know if he's a real eye doctor or not, but he says, "Oh yeah, these things are safe and everything." And I said, wouldn't it be funny 20 years from now, what you just said about these things being safe would be like those doctors recommending cigarettes, certain brands of cigarettes, and he didn't like that. He thought I was being a little bit cheeky. And I said, "I'm not trying to be rude to you. I just said, we just don't know the long-term results. It's just when you put these lights and cameras, they're going to be right up, they're going to be millimeters from your eyes. It's just like when you used to wear, I still wear AirPods from time to time, or over the head, the Max, the overhead stuff. Sometimes if I'm doing video editing and I don't want to be distracted, and I can hear the little, sounds better, and okay, is that peaking and all that kind of stuff, audio stuff, But I don't wear them, 8 hours a day like young people did. And I did at one time when I had Walkmans. Remember Walkmans? And I think I have kind of hurt my hearing in the long run doing that. I don't know if tinnitus has something to do with damaging your ears. Maybe it's being in the military, loud sounds. I know that contributes to it. But they did show that prolonged use of earphones or earbuds or headphones impairs your hearing. Now, I have to say that it's probably going to be the same thing with the Vision Pro, with those cameras and the light shining into your eyes like that. Maybe if you do it for an hour or so, maybe. Now, I saw a video today by one of the tech tubers. Again, we'll be talking about YouTube in just a minute here. And he's Brian Tong. Maybe some of you know Brian Tong. He's a big tech reviewer. Well, he said some things very cryptically that kind of answered my questions, because part of me wants to say, okay, again, you're looking for a monitor, you're looking for screens. And apparently these now virtual reality screens you can have multiple screens, in front of you, to the side of you. You can make them as big as your room. You can make them as big as, it's Mount Everest, I guess, and you can just stand there and look at this thing and just be in awe. But he said a couple things. He said, because I was thinking, okay, I'm not really I like surround sound. I like nice big screens for watching movies, and I like that immersion kind of thing. I like it a lot. But that's not why I would buy a little bear scratch there. That's not why I would want to buy that. My primary purpose would be for content creation. I want this to be an actual, they say it's supposed to be spatial computing, okay, I want to be able to do work with these things. I want to be able to check my email. I want to be able to do editing on Final Cut Pro. I want to maybe do, other kinds of maybe Photoshop, or all these other things that I do creatively. I want to be able to use it as a tool for creating things, not just sitting around and just watching a video. And I'm sure it would probably be very awesome on one level. But this guy, Brian Tong, was saying, would I be checking my email and doing, would I be doing on Safari? And he goes, not as much as you would think I would. He goes, I would do it a little bit. And apparently, again, and I've always said this from the very beginning, the other concern that I have, it's a physical one, is just the weight. You got this clunky thing on your head. And maybe you can see, they have like a bypass thing or a see-through thing to technically where you can still see your reality. But again, that's why it's augmented, because now you superimposed screens into your actual reality. Okay, so again, he says that they get heavy, but when he said, would I use this for searching the internet or reading emails, he goes, maybe for a little bit, but I don't know if I could do it for an hour or so. And no, I couldn't do it for 2 hours because he says it's just too heavy. So if it really is not going to be a content creator tool to create and do work, then I would probably say right then and there, and the other thing with the eyes, because again, you just don't know. It's not like a pair of glasses. You've got this intense light shining into your eyes because it's trying to read your eye movement. That's the secret of this whole thing, makes it kind of amazing. And we just don't know what the long range side effects would be on a person if they were wearing this thing, say 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, like at work, for real work. And then the other thing is the weight. And this other guy said he probably wouldn't be really using it all that much. That was his word. I wouldn't probably be using it all that much when he said, would I be using it to scroll the internet and do reading emails and things like that? He goes, not that much. That was the clue when he said that, I went, what did he say? He said, not that much. Oh, because you would think if this was so immersive, you'd be like, okay, I want to check my email. I want to go online and, maybe order some products, I might want to do some research, right? And he was kind of like, I probably won't be doing much of that. I'm going, whoa. So as much as I would like to be kind of an early adopter just for the novelty of it, it's, $3,500 to start. And then if you are able to add extra memory, which you'll need, and who knows what other accessories you're really going to need for that thing, you're talking probably $4,000. And so I just got my studio display set up last night. Roll the video again. And yeah, it's nice. It's really good. The thing that I would probably do instead of getting a Vision Pro, because it's funny, basically when you think about it, just augmented screens. It's displays. That's all it is. Yeah. Probably for the first couple months, it'll be super novel. Like, wow, look at this. I've got my Safari page here, and I've got my whatever it is I like to look at, checking my emails or checking, ordering something online. Okay, yeah. Oh, there's Amazon online. Okay, cool. Costco. Yeah. Okay. The novelty will wear off, just like everything, just like the iPhone. The iPhone for a lot of people, it still was pretty novel for a long, long time. The lines lining up to get this thing. But I just don't know if Apple's gonna really. Now, again, it's a beta product. To be honest, first generation things just. They kind of leave you kind of lackluster after a while. After the novelty wears off and you go, okay, what am I really going to use this thing for? And you find out you really can't use it because it's not that practical. Then you feel like, oh man, I wasted a lot of money on this. So what I would probably do instead of buying that, I would save my money and get one of their newer, I think it's a 32-inch called Ultra Display, whatever. It's like the top of the line display, and it's expensive. I'd probably use my money to buy that instead. But right now, you know, monitor is just a monitor, and I've got, like I said, still got the other ones that seem to be working, and I got the newest one that seems to, which is very nice. It's not as big as the older one, which I really like that real estate, but it's got other advantages that the other one didn't have. So, you know, it's a trade-off. So anyway, so we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to order it on Friday morning. First of all, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I've been having a hard time getting up even at 6 like I normally do. So I might just let that date pass me by and let somebody else be a beta tester and, you know, hey, good luck to you and enjoy while you got it, you know, because I just don't think that that's going to be a practical investment. You know, it's not like it's going to really help me in making better videos, or it's going to help me, you know, do better work, you know, and I just don't see it really being a real work component, a valuable work component. So maybe in years down the road it will be. Maybe, and plus they'll be maybe smaller and more lightweight, and they won't be as, you know, because you look like a stormtrooper with those things on, you know, dun 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 dun, dun, you know. Anyway, but maybe some people like to look like stormtroopers. I don't know. So the last thing I want to talk about is simply this. I guess there's been a lot of well-known YouTube content creators. Doggone it, I always hate that about my little pipes when they go do the volcano thing. And some of them I've heard of. A guy named Tom Scott, he does kind of like scientific, kind of popular science kind of videos. Interesting. There's a couple of YouTubers that are more into the tech genre, you know, that I've watched. And then there's some that are more kind of like, I guess, more like entertainment, like Mr. Beast. I think I might have seen one or two Mr. Beast videos. It just never really appealed to me because anyway. Not to say anything negative about Mr. Beast. I don't dislike him. I mean, I don't really follow him though. But apparently the big, you know, alarm that's going off in the YouTube community is that these people who have made videos for maybe about 10 years are basically hanging it up. They're saying, I'm retiring, I'm out of here. And I saw one YouTube lady, she does tech videos and photography videos and stuff, and I like her. She's an older gal, but you know, she's really really knowledgeable. I really like her videos. They're very well scripted, and she does really a nice job. And if you want to learn like a little new gadget, like a gimbal, or maybe a new camera, or maybe a little piece of software, you know, her name is Danka, or anyway, Zdenka Darla or something like that. She's from Romania. I've actually had little conversations with her, and she's always very friendly and pleasant. So, but anyway, but apparently this is a thing. She's not the only one. I've seen lots of other videos. You know, what's wrong with YouTube? Why are people abandoning YouTube? YouTube is going downhill and stuff. Well, you know, just like anything else, you know, it has its season, and maybe it is fizzling out. I don't know. But a lot of people, obviously content creators, are doing this to make money. Now, I'm happy to say that I've never monetized either this channel or my homily channel. I just never wanted to do that. I make videos because I like making videos. That's it. Now, some people would say, good thing you didn't monetize your videos because you would have starved. Which is true, I know that. I think part of it might be, and again, I don't know. I think I've been shadow banned by the powers that be because of my unpopular, from time to time, unpopular perennial opinions. which is fine. You know, some people find my channel, they like it, and some people don't like it. And some people could care less. You know, it's like, who's that old guy smoking a pipe? Who cares? You know. But anyway, apparently a lot of YouTubers, very popular, famous, well-known, you know, kind of like the top rung YouTubers, people that got, I guess, millions of subscribers and, you know, tens of millions of views, they're kind of pulling up the stakes. They're out of here. And okay, I don't know why would that be so alarming for a lot of people. I mean, it's kind of the natural ebb and flow of life, you know. People, you know, do what they do, and then they retire, or they retire permanently, you know. And so the thing is that I just think that sometimes people get a little wrapped around the axle on certain things, and it's just part of life, you know. It's nothing bad. Now, again, I would say, you know, it's kind of like interesting going back to Apple products, you know, the new Vision Pro. I don't see people lining up for Vision Pro. In fact, they're saying that there's only going to be like 700,000 units, under 1 million units of this thing on the first launch. So it may be a big bust. Now, again, knowing how Apple things work out, it's always an interesting thing how they promote things. And one of the things that a lot of people are saying is they're not getting excited about this product. They're going to launch it on Friday, but you're not hearing a big Apple announcement or anything like that. Why? You know, and sometimes you think, well, maybe Apple, you know, maybe just a regular guy in the street like me would say, well, they kind of know it's going to be a flop, so they just want to just kind of maybe get through it, you know. But then again, these people are very shrewd, aren't they? Maybe they know something that we just don't know until that day it launches. And those things could be sold out in the first 15 minutes. You know, good luck getting one, okay? You might be one of the few that order it and you get it and you'll be going, why did I order this thing? Or you might be one of the people that try to order it online Friday morning and they say, sorry, we're out of stock. In 15 minutes, it could very well go that way. But I just, you know, it's always, you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it, or you know it later. So, like I said, I'm concerned that the reason why I probably won't get one is because I'm concerned about the damage that could occur to your eyes over long time use. Concerned that it really is a bulky, heavy thing that is very uncomfortable, and you won't be able to really wear it for that extended period to actually do work. And then the other thing is the guy that I kind of, you know, I really like his videos, and he's very knowledgeable, and he's like saying, would I use it for, you know, just basic, you know, work things? Kinda, sorta, you know. It's like, not that much, he says. I'm not that much. I'm thinking, well, okay, so it's expensive. Did I cut myself again? I'm always cutting myself or hurting myself. It's not a practical thing. I mean, wearing this bulky piece of hardware, apparently it's just, the guy said, I don't know if I could watch a movie with this, because it's just, after a while, it gets heavy. Okay, so if you're going to watch he said I could maybe take a break. I thought, wait a minute. You know, here you are watching a movie. Most of the time you just watch the whole thing unless you had to go to the bathroom. But for the most part, I don't know many people that really take breaks to watch a movie. No, maybe if it's like a long movie like Oppenheimer or some epic movie, you know, maybe, you know, but Lord of the Rings or something like that, you take a break. But still. But the work, if you're not able to do real, concrete, solid work with this device, in other words, the other day I was thinking, well, wait a minute now. Technically, you're buying with this thing, you're buying a computer. You're buying everything that a computer has: sound, visuals, interface, everything. Your hands are the interface, your eyes are the interface. And I thought, well, you wouldn't have to really go out and buy, whether it's a laptop or a desktop or an iPad. You got everything right there in those goggles. That's the computer. But if you really can't use it, or you can only use it for just a small period of time, it's not practical. Now, if it was like $1,500 at the startup, yeah, I'd buy it for sure. No questions asked. I'd just say, yeah. And if it turns out to be a dud, well, all right, maybe I can sell it and get some of my money back. I don't know. But for 34, most 4,000, 4 G's, I don't think I'm going to invest in that. Now, the other thing is, being a beta product, which it is, the next version always comes out as always, and if it's going to be something that catches on like the iPhone or the iPad, it'll be better. And then maybe the second or third generation of the product will be really good, and it'll be more, you'll be more, advantageous, saying, hey, this is now a good product. But first generation products are, unless you're really somebody that just likes to be the first on your block to have, a confirmed kill and that kind of stuff, I don't know. It's just the price tag, the entry to play is just a little bit too pricey for me, and I'm really concerned about my eyes. Now, I don't have I have astigmatism. I do wear a mild prescription. That's the other thing. I'd probably do better to wait till I could actually get my prescription and have that filled, and then they would send the inserts with it. So then that way I'd have a much better viewing experience. But yeah, I just have too many big question marks, and I think I'm gonna let that 5 a.m. Time pass me by. I think I'm gonna sleep in an extra hour. I'm not gonna worry about it, because other people, and if this thing turns out it sells like hotcakes in the first 15, 20 minutes, and they're all gone, they evaporate, and then you got to wait till another 6 months before you can they get another stock in. That might be interesting. And then when we see these things, what they say in the wild, real people, giving reviews, then it'll confirm, some things that I'm looking for. How is it on the eye fatigue? Are people actually damaging their eyes using this thing? That's very important. You ruin your eyes, you only get one chance to do that. After that, it's game over. Is it practical? Can I actually put that thing on and launch Final Cut Pro and start video editing? Am I able to do that? Can I do photo editing on that? Can I write? Now another thing too is that with the advent of ChatGPT, a lot of stuff now is AI assisted or AI generated. So, I just don't know. I just don't know what's going to... It might be that this was a big blunder maybe for Apple. I don't know. They've made mistakes before. The Lisa computer was Steve Jobs. It was one of his greatest creations, but it was but business-wise, it was a huge failure. Part of it was because the Lisa computer was $10,000 to start. That's back in what, 1986, I think, or 87, 88. Phenomenal, $10,000. Anyway, just a fascinating thing. So, Apple's had its share of failures too, and this could be a big failure for them. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah. Okay. Well, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in again. I know that maybe my frequency I might have to cut back on making too many videos in a month. I might just go back to just making one video a month, and because it seems like if I make more than one a month, they just don't do that well. And I mean, like I said, I make them because I enjoy making them, but it is nice to know that people like are watching them. And if I'm just kind of spinning my wheels, I feel like, well, you know. But anyway, like I said, it's not. I don't really worry about that because I'm not monetized. So I don't make money. But I think when you make something a little more special, then you get a little bit more interest. That's the way it seems to me. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, so thanks for watching this week, or this week, I guess. And we will see you soon in the next one. So light up your world, light up your pipe, and continue to make progress on those New Year's resolutions. We'll see you, in the next one. Have a good night now.